Hey, welcome to this video. Before I begin, I would like to preface that this isn't some cry for change immediately. It's just wanting to experiment with ideas. So, not to say that Riot needs to make these changes or it's a good idea. I would start with the foundation that it is to build up Jinx's original concept idea, which is a crazy girl with lots of guns. And if you take a look at her bio and past documentaries of how she was designed, well, they have removed a lot of things to make her the way she is because she's fairly an old champion at this point. And let's say the more modern version of Jinx or how they envisioned Jinx to be was actually our current apelios with 10 guns. So apelios would be that updated Jinx with many weapons to choose from, but let's go with a different direction here. Now Jinx is, as a lot of people would say, and maybe it's just biased towards, the mains, and people who only play Jinx would say, oh, she's the weakest ADC compared to everyone else, so she's the only one who needs a buff. Well, maybe it's half true, let's say for now, since certainly the most powerful ADCs are the Jins, and well, I'm facing one right now, and a couple others. I don't have the list on top of my head, but Jin is certainly one of the top ADCs in this meta. So, following up Jing's idea of someone who just loves a lot of guns, she has her two rocket forms or gun forms, the rocket and minigun. And I'll add a second reference to actually a Dota 2 hero called Troll Warlord, where he has a similar concept with his first skill where he switches between melee and range. Now that's a Jace ultimate kind of skill there where Jace switches between melee and range. For Troll Warlord, his second ability is the only one that sort of switches between what range form you're in or you're in melee range. So in Jinx's perspective, and I'm getting straight into this sort of idea, is that depending on her form, whether it's minigun form or rocket form, it would then change the ability of her W and E. And of course it's still going to remain the same zap and grenade, so but then the effects might have slight changes, and this all depends on the characteristic of the minigun and the characteristic of rocket. So with minigun's case, it is shooting fast and having stacks. Getting 3 stacks, you gain attack speed, and as for rocket form, you gain more range and AoE damage. So for zap, let's say the minigun version might shoot out faster, and yes, it's has that buff many patches ago where the higher attack speed you are, I feel that zap would come out faster. I don't know if that's actually implemented or not. I just sort of read it and then forget about it, and honestly I don't even notice a difference in the gameplay. But let's say in minigun form, zap comes out a bit faster, while the rocket form of zap will have a even longer range, or whatever it hits will have its own mini explosion, let's say, that does AoE damage. And that can go on from the grenades, where the minigun form, the grenades will activate maybe faster but doesn't explode, or the rocket form, the grenades will have a bigger explosion, or something along those lines. These aren't some ideas that are sort of has to be the case. You are free to comment below what other ideas you have, if Zap was in minigun form, what should it be? If it's in rocket form, what should it be? And same goes for the grenades. If it's in rocket form, what should the grenade activate be? And maybe the minigun form, what should the grenades be? But it's still not necessarily switching to be a whole new Zap, it's just the same sort of Zap and grenade. And the idea of like balance, because of course we all care about that, the idea here is that once you use, let's say, the Zap of the minigun, even though you switch to rocket form, that ability will still be on cooldown, which sort of brings out more decision making of which version of Zap or the grenade is better for you in that situation. And the whole purpose of this is just to let Jinx be a little bit more complex. Let's say Jinx certainly is one of the more simple champions to play as for an ADC that honestly the W and E ability this are not really required that much to succeed on her. Just kiting certainly plays a bigger role compared to other champions because you're immobile, certainly, but all ADCs need to be careful about their positioning, and maybe Jinx much more, maybe Kog'Maw even more than Jinx, let's say, as an example. But you can certainly succeed at Jinx with just her first ability, stay in rocket form, and just auto attack from a distance. And so allowing Jinx to have a bit more abilities to play with and a few combos, let's say, depending on what it is. I'm not saying it has to be one or the other. Again, just comment below what are your ideas. It will give her more complexity and hopefully more fun in that matter. An idea long ago was how it really feels that her ultimate, secondly, was quite strange that it's something that you would want to use at the end of the fight, basically because it gives you that percentage missing HP damage, and for sure that is pretty good if you want to try to snipe someone down to get your reset. But as for Jinx as a character, it always feels like she would want to open up with her ultimate, just like her trailer and just the characteristic of Jinx overall. But you take that as you will. The basic idea with all of the various ultimates that are global, so like Ezreal, Ashe, and Senna, let's say. Ezreal, I believe, has a flat damage on his ultimate, and maybe that is why Jinx version is less about flat damage and burst, and it's more about the securing the kill and assassination, while Ezreal is more of the burst upfront damage. And that's how like Riot differentiate the different global abilities. So do comment below like your various ideas. Of course, this is all just for fun to sort of make Jinx a little bit more complex and interesting to play. Now back to this certain video, Halo Blade, certainly a different rune to take. More popular would certainly be Lethal Tempo, but the idea here, before I go, is just simply that Halo Blades is to allow Jinx to buy a little bit more AD and have a little bit more burst attack speed with her rockets, especially because you won't be in mini gun form certainly at the beginning of the fight. And so with those couple of attacks, hopefully, and the extra AD you are able to buy, then you are hopefully then able to secure a kill on a target. And so after the Halo Blaze attack speed is over, then hopefully your reset passive ability takes over, giving you that attack speed needed to continue the fight forward. And maybe Lethal Tempo is just that, but a little bit more consistent, giving you longer duration to attack, but with Halo Blades it certainly gives you more attack and faster attacks, especially in rocket form. But I'm not saying that Halo Blades is the way to go. I'm just sort of playing around and experimenting with different runes, because that's just my way of having fun and experimenting in this game in particular. Just fascinated by runes and item builds. In which case I will leave it at that and hope you enjoy the rest of the game. See you next time. Bye for now.
Seriously, screaming helps not at all.
What?
Ask me if I'm listening. Hint, I'm not. I don't even think once about blowing stuff.
An ally has been slain.
Art shall blossom from your fear.
She's such a loser, always ready to cry.
Prepare for your finale.
Shut down. Ally has been slain. Turret plating will soon fall.
I'll give you to the count of time's up! What if I had a gun that shot other guns? Get him, Tibbers!
He has been slain.
Any last words? No, just...
Breathe in the atmosphere.
You have slain an enemy.
Four!
Ah, come on. What's the worst that could happen? Wait, I'm thinking.
Rampage.
How do people do this?
Shut down.
trying to care, but I just can't. All part of the plan I just made up.
Shut down. Double kill.
I really need a new gun. But don't tell my other guns. I'm wearing lots of belts.
Your team has destroyed a turret.
You think I'm crazy? You should see my sister.
I knew you would find your mark
for Jinx?
eventually.
Hold on. I'm about to see something really cool. They
Prepare for your finale. Four!
An ally has been slain.
Now where was I? All right, wreaking havoc. I'm crazy. Got a doctor's note.
Your turret has been destroyed. Your team has destroyed a turret. Shut down.
I feel like I forgot to shoot something.
An enemy has been slain.
Let's just behave. Whatever. Whatever. Let's just start shooting. I have the best intentions. Ask me if I'm listening. Hint, I'm not. accidentally did that on purpose. I don't even
Killing
think once
spree.
about blowing stuff up. She's such a loser. Always ready to
Has
cry.
destroyed a turret. An ally has been slain.
You're starting to bore me.
An ally has been slain. Shut down. Shut down. An enemy has been slain.
What if I had a gun that shot other guns? Bullets. Ah, come on. What's the worst that could happen? Wait, I'm thinking. How do people do this?
Your turret has been destroyed.
What needs reason?
Smile. Everyone is watching. The walk inside, deep inside me. Sacrifice for the cause.
I'm trying to care, but I just can't.
Your turret has been destroyed.
All part of the plan I just made up.
An ally has been slain. An enemy has been slain.
I really need a new gun. But don't tell my other guns.
Breathe.
Enemy has been slain.
You're my favorite waste of bullets. I'm wearing lots of belts. think I'm crazy? You should see my sister. Jinx? Stands for Jinx. Hold on. I'm about to do something really cool. Break their lines!
Double kill.
Where was I? Alright.
Killing spree. Your team has destroyed a turret. Ace. Your team has destroyed a turret. Your team has destroyed an inhibitor.
I'm crazy. Got a doctor's note.
Life has no meaning, but your death shall.
Let's just behave. Say whatever. Whatever. Let's just start shooting. I have the best intentions. Ask me if I'm listening. Hint, I'm not. I don't even think once about blowing stuff up. Gotta die sometime. She's such a loser, always ready to cry. What if I had a gun that shot other guns?